Hey guys, and welcome to another great movie review. Today, I am going to finally do an episode on The Conjuring 2. So, uh, I know I've been away for a while, and I'm really sorry about that, but things have just been happening, and it's just been really, really crazy. A lot of personal stuff's been going on, and it's not bad, don't worry, it's not like super, super bad, it's just I've had a lot on my mind, and again, a lot's been going on. Um, I'm really, really sorry about that, guys. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded, and again, I'm really, really sorry about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and start getting back into it. Starting with again this video, which is gonna be about The Conjuring 2, which I saw a long time ago, and I've been meaning to do a video on. Um, but I also wanted to let you guys know that I have recently uh, I finally saw the first episode of season 3 of The Flash and the first episode of season 5 of Arrow, and I have to say, oh my gosh, I loved them. They were amazing, and they both. I think both seasons, each season for both shows is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be super amazing, and I really think that these seasons are really gonna pack a punch for everyone. That's just my opinion. Uh, but if you guys haven't seen Flash and Arrow, catch up. If you want to go ahead and watch, I actually did a review on both Flash and Arrow season 1. I need to do reviews on the other seasons as well. But if you want to watch those, feel free to go through my videos, check those out. But again, I saw those and it's really, really good. I also started watching Stranger Things. I'm on episode 3. I know I need to finish it. I haven't finished it yet, but so far, without spoiling it, Stranger Things is really, really good. I love all the references they have. It's really amazing. Um, other than that, again, just been a lot going on. Watching shows, watching movies. There's actually a couple movies that I saw that I'll probably review. Another series that I finished recently with my girlfriend that we both enjoyed is Scream, the TV series. It's on Netflix, and even though there's not that many, there's only like 12 episodes for either season. It's actually really, really good. It's like 10 episodes the first season, 12 episodes the second season. Now it's on MTV. If you have cable and you don't have Netflix and you're wanting to watch it, it's on MTV. Season 2 finished already though. So I mean, if you want, you might want to get Netflix and catch up on that. Um, but again, Scream, the TV series, is really, really good. It's just as good as the movies, if not better. The characters are amazing, and they go through so much development in so little time, in my opinion. But that'll be another video for another day. Anyway, today I want to go ahead and talk about The Conjuring 2. For those of you who don't know, The Conjuring 2 is about a real life case. Sorry, I didn't mean to do quotation, but a real life case of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and basically it's a case that they did during their investigations. And it's in England. It's basically they compared the case to they called it England's Amityville. For those of you who do not know what Amityville is, the Amityville horror is a case here in the United States where a young man who claimed he was possessed by demons and heard voices shot and killed his family, and ever since then nobody has been able to live in the house. People see things, hear things, and it's just crazy basically. Anyway, so this was compared to England. This was called England's Amityville, and basically it's a case that Ed and Lorraine Warren worked on. According to real life, though, in the movie, obviously, I will say this, movies doesn't matter what kind of movie it is, but movies exaggerate. Um, Obviously, movies exaggerate to make it better, um, to give it pizzazz, and to bring the audience in. Everybody loves based on true story movies. I do. Well, I'm afraid of them, I guess you could say. It is horror, but basically, people like based on true stories, whether it be a life-saving story or whether it be a horror story. People love them because it basically says, "Hey, this can happen." People love, in my opinion, people who love based on true stories. Again, that's one of the reasons why is because it can happen, and it shows. If it's a horror story that was based on true stories such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it shows that humanity isn't all that good, and it shows that again anything can happen, and it shows that you know what, humans aren't perfect. Everybody lives in a bubble. I believe that everyone lives in their own type of bubble. They have their own perception of the world. And when that bubble is popped, when that bubble is just destroyed, they don't know what to do. Because their perception of the world is, again, it's destroyed, it's changed. And they see that, oh, what I thought of the world isn't completely true. Now, I'm not saying that the way people see the world isn't necessarily true, because everybody has their own different opinions, and everybody sees the world in their own way. For example, me, I see things mostly black and white. There's 2, 3, 4 sides to every story. There's multiple sides to every story. There's always, not everything. Basically, I believe not everything has to be one side or the other. That's just me. Now, again, people. That's the reason I think. That's the reason I enjoy. That's the reason I enjoy based on true story movies, is because, again, it helps us to basically say, hey, my perception of the world isn't the only perception of the world. My perception of the world wasn't completely wrong, but it wasn't right. And again, such as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, people who see that and say based on a true story, they can look up the facts. You can go into Google, Yahoo, Bing, whatever, and you can look up the facts on that case, and somebody can look at that and say, oh my god, while the movie exaggerated it, this actually happened. And how could someone do something like that? That type of thing. Anyway, back to my original point is the real life story of Ed and Lorraine Warren investigating this is actually that they were only at the location for a day or two, and they were actually asked to leave. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how true that is. I haven't looked into that case, to be honest with you. Even though I'm intrigued and I do believe in ghosts, spirits, and such, I do not mess with that stuff. Simply because I just don't. Anyway, so The Conjuring 2 is based in England. It happened in England, and basically it follows this family, single mother, about five kids, and they're just trying to make it. Anyway, well, things start happening around their house. Things start happening around their house that they can't explain, and at first the mom doesn't believe the kids, and then something happens to her. She does, and obviously she calls the police. Police can't help her in this case, and then they start calling other people, and then that's when they start interviewing the little girl, and then something happens, and so they need to call, and supposedly they need to call Ed and Lorraine Warren. And at this time, Ed and Lorraine Warren are doing an interview and with somebody, basically having a debate, I guess you could say, with someone who doesn't believe in spirits and ghosts and doesn't believe their findings and finds them to be false. Anyway, so long story short, Ed and Lorraine Warren agree to go to England to investigate, because according to the church, that's all, they're members of the church, and according to the church, that's all they want them to do is just go and investigate, Well, long story short, things start happening. And they find out that they're dealing with, that what they thought they were dealing with isn't exactly what they're dealing with, and basically it's this demon. And long story short, the movie ends on a good note, ends on a positive note, and I don't know if there's going to be a third one. They didn't really hint at a third one, but anything can happen. Now, I want to go ahead and say that the effects in this movie were really, really good. The acting was incredible. Basically, Ed and Lorraine Warren are played by the same people from the first Conjuring movie, and the scenery was amazing. They filmed in England, and it's really, really good. I've always wanted to visit England, and I love the scenery. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, the acting was incredible. The plot was great. I'm glad. Again, they got the plot from the real life case, but the plot was still great. I loved it. It was a good plot. I wasn't expecting what happened. I really wasn't. Anyway, if you haven't seen this movie and you're a horror fan, I suggest watching this movie. I really do. It's a really good movie, and it's just as good as the first Conjuring movie. Again, I don't know if they're going to do a third one. If they do, I'll definitely go and watch it. Now, that being said, again, if I had to rate this movie, I would give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for basic. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I'll go ahead and change it, and I'll go ahead and give it a solid 9 out of 10. The reason being is because, again, the acting was incredible. The effects were amazing. I loved the effects. I loved the acting. The characters, of course, based on real people, are absolutely phenomenal. And all around, it's just a really good movie. And again, the plot was really good, and it makes you think, and it makes you wonder. And I know scary movies affect certain people differently. Some scary movies make some people jump, and some people don't jump. This movie made me jump a couple times. I'll admit it did have a few jump scares. But all in all, it kept me on the edge of my seat. It really did. And for some people, it did the same. And if you go and see it, who knows? It might keep you on the edge of your seat. And to me, that's what a movie should do. Is It should have enough action. It should keep you on the edge of your seat. It should make you constantly think, and it made me constantly think. You know. So all in all, I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. It's a really good movie, and if you haven't seen it yet, I would go and see it. And you know what? As a matter of fact, if you haven't seen the first Conjuring yet, I would watch that one first, and then I would watch this one. Then I would watch this one because it ties in a subplot really, really well. There's a subplot from the first movie that was touched on that it's finally basically revealed in the second movie, and so again, it's really, really good. It's a really good movie, and I would encourage you all to see it. Now, I was just gonna make this video a review on The Conjuring. I really was. That's my entire review. That's solid 9 out of 10. But I want to go ahead and take a minute to talk to you guys. Again, I've been going through some stuff. Not necessarily me going through a hard time, but I won't say who, but a close friend of mine. I'm not going to go into details on we'll go into details on their situation because it's not my place to say, but I will say this. If you guys are going through a hard time, if you guys have something on your mind, if things start just getting too much, do not hesitate to talk to somebody. Whether that somebody be, your parents, a friend, a relative, or a friend, a counselor at school, for those of you who are in school watching, a therapist, whoever it is, do not be afraid to talk to them. We all go through hard times. I understand that. And in my opinion, no one's hard time is worse than somebody else's hard time. In my opinion, it's all a matter of perspective. And again, we all go through hard times. I'm not going to deny that. And again, I'm not saying, this person's hard time is worse than this person's hard time. Because, truthfully, if two people are going through hard times, then it's not a contest. They're both going through hard times and they both need help. Plain and simple. And it pains me that so many people out there are going through hard times and so little receive the help that they need. Whether it be bullying, financial troubles, relationship problems, anything that puts you in a hard spot. Again, I encourage you, it's hard, I know it is, but I encourage you to talk to people. Sometimes it's hard for me because I will admit, sometimes it's hard for me to talk about my problems because I feel I'm a little too prideful. Not only that, I don't feel like burdening others with my problems. I don't feel like going to my friends and just laying all my problems out there. I've always been the one to help my friends and get my friends through situations when they needed it. Um, Such as, I'll give you an example, such as when one of my best friends, um, when he and his then girlfriend broke up, I was there for him, and I had stayed, this was years ago, I'd stayed the night at his house and we were playing games and watching movies, just, hanging out, and he told me that he really needed this, you know, and it helped get his mind off of his trouble, and I was glad to help. And that's the person I've always been. And, I will admit there's been times where I've broken down and in front of my friends, and I'll admit I've cried and I've just broken down. But those have been few times. There's been, I could basically count how many times. I can count on one hand how many times I've done that. So again, me personally, it's hard. But whenever I need to, I've always been the one to say how I feel as well. It's hard, but I do it. Now, I don't expect everyone out there to be the same way. Everybody's different, and everybody deals with things differently. But again, it pains me to see so many people out there in need and not getting help. If you need help, or if you know someone who needs help, please find that help. If you're someone who needs help, reach out. Whether it be here on YouTube, guys, I encourage you guys, if you need help and you're watching this YouTube video and you just need someone to talk to, total stranger, I'm all ears. I will say that right now, whether it just be a comment in the comments section, or if you'd like, you can leave me a comment, asking to, for my email. I'll gladly give you my email, so you can email me, or you guys can add me on Facebook, message me. Basically, I always have my phone on me, so I may not be able to answer right away, but I will answer you. If you need help, again, if you need help and you don't know who to talk to, if you feel like you can't talk to any of your relatives or any of your friends, for whatever reason, I will say I'm here for you. I will say that I will, again, whether you can leave a comment in the comment section, you can find me on Facebook, message me, I'm here. I will say, for those of you who know somebody that needs help, help them. You may be asking yourself, how can I help? What can I do? In my experience, all it takes is just one person. One moment. 1 minute of your time is all it takes. You don't have to be Superman, Wonder Woman, whoever you look up to. You don't have to be a superhero, basically, to help someone. Now, I will say, yes, I'm a geek, and yes, I nerd out at superheroes. Cool, superheroes are my thing, yeah. But you don't need to be a superhero to help someone. All you need is a minute of your time. And the reason I say that is because, again, I know from experience. About a couple weeks ago, I was actually at Walmart just getting some things, and as I was leaving, I saw this older gentleman, and he was outside, and he was just putting a seat on a bike. and I saw he already had he had two bikes. He had an older looking bike and this new looking bike, and I saw he was trying to fix his seat, and again I went up to him and I said, "Sir, I'm sorry if I'm bothering you." I said, "But do you need help with your seat?" And he looks up at me, he says, "Oh, no, no, I'm just, I'm just putting the seat on." He said, but thank you for asking if I needed help." He said, "You know what?" He said, "I've had this bike," and he points to his older bike. He says, "I've had this bike for a long time." He says, "And I was just right here," and then he said, "Before you, this other guy came and asked if I needed a new bike, and I told him no." He said, "Oh, no," I told him, "No, thank you. I've had this bike for a while. It's gotten me to where I need to go." He said, "And, it's all I need." He said, "Well, man goes into Walmart, comes back out, and he has this bike and gives it to me." He said, "Here you go, sir. I just got you this new bike." And the older gentleman says, and I was just amazed. He says, I was just so shocked. He said, because not many people would do that for somebody, And I said, "Sir, I feel you." I said, "Yes, sir, I understand. I understand completely." And so me and this older gentleman were talking for a little bit, and I will say this: I prayed with him, and he did tell me the man who bought him his new bike was a pastor. Now, that being said, I'm not saying you have to be religious to help anyone out either. I'll put this out there: I'm a Christian, but that's not relevant. It does not matter what religion you are, or even if you have one. In my opinion, it doesn't matter age, gender, religion, political affiliation, if any. Doesn't matter. In my opinion, all that matters is what kind of person you are. And that man, that older gentleman that I spoke with, he was so happy to get a new bike. And then he said, I'm really glad. He told me, "I'm really glad, you asked me for help. I really appreciate it." He was so happy to get a new bike, and he was so happy to see somebody come up and ask him for help. And that's why I say it only takes 1 minute of your time. It only takes one moment to change somebody's life. It only takes one moment to reach out and to say, "I'm here for you." Again, you don't have to be a superhero. You don't have, and sometimes you don't even have to go above and beyond. Above and beyond. Is it nice? Yes. Sometimes all it takes is a little gesture. Whether it be offering your seat to an older person, to a senior citizen, or somebody who's pregnant. Whether it be paying for food for a homeless person. Whether it be going out and giving food to homeless people, or donating to charity. Whether it be being there for a friend. Again, I know this was supposed to be a review video, but I just wanted to dedicate some time to give that message and to say, that if you know someone who needs help, help them. Do not be scared to help them. Do not hesitate. Again, I just wanted to give that message, and I sincerely hope that you guys possibly share that part of this video. I don't care. I will say this: if you guys want to, you can go ahead and crop my video down to this that message, and then send that message out there, or just pass it along through text. You know, anything that you can do. For those of you who are going through a tough time, again, if need be, I'm here for you. I may not know you, but I'm here for you. And for those of you going through a tough time, again, you are not alone. You may feel like you are, but you're not. I do want to say to those who are having a tough time, for those of you who are going through trouble, I will say this: if you know you need help, do not hesitate to get that help. And please do not refuse that help. There could be many a reason why you would do so, and I understand. But please don't. I may not understand your predicament that you're going through, but I will say this: if you know you need help, then please get that help. Again, I just wanted to give that message out there. Again, we all go through troubles, and we need to be here for one another, in my opinion. I will say that I'll go ahead and make this the end of the video, and be on the lookout for my next one, which should come next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see here today. And I just really hope that everyone has a great day. See you next time.